The other thing is we would like to request the Swedish government or other people to put too much pressure, like you, put too much pressure to the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency, Mr. President Yoweri Museveni, not to sign this bill. So how do we do that? Still, we can do it. It's not too late yet. Now the best now is the bill is going to go back to Parliament, which will also take another time. This is the time now we come as one people, as others say. It's just a color, but one blood, one people. We stand with a good voice, bigger voice, write good articles, as I've said, continue dialogues with other people, and so forth and so on. I'm sure we will listen. The other thing, you can also decide and say, okay, if that's the case, we will ask the German, the Swedish embassy or the Swedish government not to allow any politician to enter the territory of Sweden, because Sweden practices good governance and democracy, something like, I'm not a politician, so I don't know these things. Peter would be able to help us. He's a politician. So it's also one way, because if you're a politician, you should not be allowed to enter the territory of good governance. If you're a minister, you can also still face the same thing, because here we would like to show you that it's not what you say, that this is your territory. If that's your territory, stay in your territory. Don't move to our territory. So in that case, they will feel and say, no, it's not just about this. I think there's something more. And the other thing is, yeah, I've already talked about that. The other thing is, we would like to appeal to all of you, to any leader, politicians, to everybody in government, especially the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Uganda, in Sweden, sorry, because Uganda is home, it's always home, to have an open doors in case of asylum seekers. So any Ugandan who feel like is not comfortable in Uganda and he comes here, the procedure should be simple. You know, these people have already been traumatized. They have undergone a lot of suffering, you know. Then again, there's a situation when you come to a place like this, you again go through havoc. Getting papers is not easy. But of course, I must also applaud Sweden for the few cases I have seen. At least when people come here, immediately they get papers. At least there is some good connection. And I think that's why everybody is proposing, I will go to Sweden or Norway. Nobody wants to go to Holland. Nobody wants to go to Italy. Nobody wants to go to France, because things are not in the system. But everybody would like to come here. But for that person to come here, it has to have also a recommendation from the LGBT community. That will help, because otherwise everybody now is running for this, I'm gay, even when he's not gay. So when a gay person comes, it becomes a problem. Another thing is the embassies will not issue the rightful person a visa, because someone who has not has gotten a visa and is not coming back, because there's always that when you come, you report back to the embassy. Alternatively, we would also ask the Minister of Foreign Affairs to write official letter to the embassy, Swedish embassy of Uganda, which says that any gay person who feels unsafe when he comes to the embassy, please provide with the necessary support by issuing immediately a visa. Because there's also a tendency they can not give you a visa, which is not a problem of the embassy, because they are not sure. But if someone comes with a letter of recommendation from activists within who are known, or an organization actually like Queer Youth Uganda, SMAG, Freedom and Rome, all these organizations are known to the embassy. I think there should be no reason for the embassy not to give a visa immediately. You know, I think we need to emphasize that there should be that open space, especially for the visas. And now, when the bill is passed, because nobody is willing to stay, you go to prison. Excuse me, I am gay, I cannot stay there, you know. I can't work in prison, because prison in Africa is not, my friend there can tell you, you have to go to the garden and dig for 8 hours. Then they give you louse porridge. No, It's not for the gay. He will be dead the next 1 week. I'm sure. It's too much in prison. And especially now if they know that you are gay, probably the punishment inside is also different. I'm very sure. And they're even thinking of putting a separate rooms for all the gay people. So just imagine if they want to divide you and put it there, probably you will go without food. I am very sure of this. Or you'll be given leftover food, which others have eaten, and then they say, take it, because they call us unclean people. And I keep asking them, when you just look at me like, do I look clean? I mean, do I look dirty? Eh? They say, no. They say, why? You are smart. I say, because I'm gay. I take care of myself, I don't want pain. Anything small, I feel like, there's something wrong, I need to see a doctor, you get it. But go to prison? No, I will be dead in the next minute. The other thing is to provide support in terms of funding, stroke grants, which will allow some of the LGBT organizations to continue with their underground work, such as sensitization of the human rights and HIV/AIDS awareness, carry out education to the entire homophobic society through advocacy and lobbying. So in this case, if the bill is passed, still you cannot just, you still have to talk to people, few people you get and say, but you, of course in this case you have to pretend. In most cases the people have to pretend. There is a way you can bring, but this bill, when they passed this bill, is it really worth it? And then you see the atmosphere, you weigh. And then you see, normally in a bar, it's a little bit easier, especially when they have taken. Men is quite easy to talk to, from my experience. I don't know why. But women, she even calls the police for you, because there is competition. So I don't know who is who. Anyway, to donate or fundraise for the emergency or stroke relocation, stroke safe houses in case the bill becomes law in the nearby future, as anticipated. This emergency basket or a grant will help to facilitate the LGBT movement in Uganda, especially queer youth members who are outside Uganda. Meaning, because most of our members, they are in different districts. But within Kampala, we have very many organizations. That one is a little bit safer, because you can quickly call someone and so forth and so on. But now imagine people like in Mbarara, where it comes, is about how many hours?
5 hours.
5 hours by bus. But that is just when you are sitting. Remember, you can sit for 2 hours. Peter is here, I don't know where he is. You sit for 2 hours waiting for this bus to get full. So when you sit for 2 hours, you are not even sure whether you're in a safe place or no. You get it. So in this case, if you have this small emergency, it's much easier for you just to call a cab. Then you sit and you pay him and you go to another place. This emergency can also be used to relocate you immediately if there is a problem within people around you. That is even worse, because they either ban you in your house. This incident happened in one of our members in Gulu and also in Hoima. Both of them are lesbians. They just came and poured, I don't know how they call it here. How do you call it?
Gas, so just say gas.
It should be gas. Yeah. Then they just through the door, so you have nowhere to pass. And our fire brigades there, you call, it takes like 2 hours before it reaches, if you're lucky that is in the district, So people try to come with water, power. By the time they got her, she was already halfway dead. We tried to do what we did. This is the case of Hoima, just about 2 months ago. We tried what we did. We took her to hospital. She needed the intensive department, which is very expensive. We did it. She was recommended to be brought to Mulago. We brought it, but because we had some emergency fund, which was there. Now suppose we didn't have. But unfortunately, she died after 3 weeks. That's how we use that money. We also use that money immediately if you, like for example, someone has been arrested, and then the police wants money, and then you know that this thing is going to take us nowhere. But sometimes you need to bribe. In Africa, it's just about bribing, and you can find a solution. So this is where you still pick the money and give. They call it kit kidogo, huh? No, small. You give and someone gets out. And also the file can be closed. We have done that. This is how we do. We have already our network within the police. They're also friends. So you make friends and say, hey, look here, I have a problem. Whom do you know that place? Then someone says, I know somebody, but you need to give kit kidogo. Then you say, don't worry. So he makes a phone call immediately. It's about a network, right? That is how we do things.